understand them.
When it comes to the channeling of the books, we talked about your guides off mic. You say your guides swear. So that means they are taking on a part of personality that is human. How many guides do you have?
I don't know. In the last book, they say there are 9 of us here today. And I think they only said that because they were frustrated because I kept blocking the channeling. I wasn't getting what they were talking about. And I kept saying, wait a minute. Right. And there's this line in the book, like, there are 9 of us here today, and we're working very hard to bring this through. And it was the first time I ever heard a number attached. It comes through as a we. There are two voices essentially that I'm used to, and they're similar, but there are differences in vocabulary. One of them is new, and this one says dears a lot, which makes my skin crawl because dears is not a word that I would know. Hello.
Like we're with you, dears, or
pretty
that
much,
kind of thing?
Or dears. We have something to tell you, dears, and I'm going, oh my God, that's not what I want to come out of my mouth.
Right.
But and the other one is a little more boisterous and blustery.
Right.
But it's really one energy, and it's a collective that's coming through. So the cursing, they don't curse. They've cursed. They actually do curse once in the book that just finished dictation. It's called The Book of Truth, and I just finished the sessions two days ago, and about 100 pages of that was dictated in front of students at the Esalen Institute in California. I was doing a 5-day workshop there, and the guides used every opportunity to bring the book through. And, these books aren't written books. They're literally spoken and then transcribed. There's no writing involved. And these books aren't edited. So I can't take anything out. If the guides say this is in the book, it's in the book. And the whole lecture's in the book. But there's one moment in the book where they say full of, and you can fill in the 4-letter word. This is full of blank.
Yeah.
And then they say, and we're using this word intentionally. But I think part of the reason they're doing that is we have all these prescriptions. And they were really talking a bit about how we attach so much importance to external rules and conventions and things that we've really inherited in terms of structure, that I think that they were intentionally breaking a rule, by saying that. I don't think it's that they have, a bad mouth. Maybe they do, but that's not how they generally talk to me. And I've never heard that in a normal transmission. And I even think sometimes when I experience them as getting impatient, it's more for effect, I think it's to relay the importance of something more than their own personal frustration. It's just the way that I'll be able to sort of comprehend.
Well, this is interesting, too, because you talk about the importance of the vibrations of words and how even reading the Book of Mastery, people have written in and said that they felt a vibration, a humming. Things were kind of rising as they're going. But then it's also at the same token, there are some words, and I want to ask you if you have a mantra that you use on a daily basis that kind of gets you through, that kind of you feel gets you into that Control Alt Delete, wipe the old and in with the new kind of feeling. Do you have a mantra that you feel vibrationally brings you to a level you need to be?
Well, I don't work with mantras. The guides talk about claims of truth.
Right.
And they say that what they're working with is language that's encoded with vibrations. So if you work with the language itself is going to support you in your field, in the energetic system, and aligning to the claim that you make. And they say when something is true, it's always true. So their claim, I know who I am, I know what I am,
and I know how I serve.
I know how I serve is a claim of truth. And they say that calls you back into the present moment so that you're not choosing out of all the historical data and reactive impulse that we've always had. So if my first impulse is to kick the dog because I'm cranky, that's what I've done. If I move back into present time, I can bypass that. The one that I'm working with is the one from the new book, which is going to be out in January 2017, from Penguin. And it's, I know who I am in truth.
I know who I am in truth.
I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. And the vibration of truth that they're working through now is really kind of kick-ass, I have to say. I've never felt anything like it, but they're saying that truth is a field that you can align to. And they say in the vibration of truth, a lie cannot be held. And all of this fear-based stuff is essentially a lie. It's not who you truly are, who I truly am. It's what we've agreed to or what we've been taught. So when you move to truth, where these things actually don't exist at that level.
The fears, the judgments, the ego.
At the end of the Book of Mastery, there's a little thing that they say where they say, they're leading their students up a mountain, is the metaphor. And they say, okay, so if